because you are the first black head coach to go to a national championship game in college football.
Congratulations.
Just hearing that response alone, how much does this mean to you?
You know, I've said this before. I don't ever want to take attention away from the team. It is an honor, and I hope all coaches, minorities, black, Asian, white, it doesn't matter, great people continue to get opportunities to lead young men like this. But this ain't about me, this is about us. And we're gonna celebrate what we've done because it's something special.
All right, guys, we got another video for the football fans tonight because we once again got to talk about Marcus Freeman, who is the head coach of the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, who played tonight, and they ended up winning. But basically, what's been happening is that his team in college football is doing very well. He's very successful right now as a new up-and-coming head coach, and reporters constantly want to point out the fact that he is black, because usually black head coaches at this level of success are kind of unprecedented in college football. And so at every single press conference, now that he's in the playoffs, which is really funny because back before he was doing really well or super successful as the head coach, they never asked him this question, right? But now suddenly it's a big deal because he's going to be the first black head coach maybe to win a national championship. We'll see. This is such a success story. And every single time Marcus Freeman has been asked this woke question, basically trying to spin a race-baiting diversity narrative, he has shut it down. Now, let's really quickly, as a refresher, play the clip we reacted to in the last video we did on this, where Marcus Freeman, again, is asked this race-baiting question and refuses to play into it. Check it out.
You and James Franklin are kind of making history here. Can you kind of just put in perspective what it means to you to be, you know, one of two black coaches in this playoffs?
Yeah, it's, again, you're very grateful. It's a reminder that you are a representation for many others and many of our players that look the same way I do. That, you know, your color shouldn't matter, right? And that the evidence of your work should. But it takes everybody.
Right, so that's just a quick refresher course because the first time he was asked this question, that's what he said, right? Your color shouldn't matter. The evidence of your work should. He didn't really seem like he wanted to give in to this whole like, oh, I'm so proud to be black or something. No, he was like, look, I'm a football coach. And notice also what he constantly does. He makes it about the team. He says, it's not about me. It's especially not about my race. It is a team effort to get here, largely, I guess, the way that a football coach should. But with that said, so again, tonight was the Orange Bowl. They played Penn State. It was a pretty wild game, but Notre Dame ends up winning. And let's guess, guys, what do you think that the ESPN reporter here asked Marcus Freeman in the press conference, or I should say actually the post-game interview on the stage as they're celebrating the victory and accepting the trophy? What do you think she asked? Newsflash, spoiler alert, it should not shock anyone because this is ESPN we're dealing with. She asks basically the same exact question and Marcus Freeman basically gives the same response. What I really love here is that as Marcus Freeman sort of shuts down the question, all the Notre Dame fans in the audience erupt into cheers. Check it out. You'll love to see it.
Because you are the first black head coach to go to a national championship game in college football.
Congratulations.
Just hearing that response alone, how much does this mean to you?
You know, I've said this before. I don't ever want to take attention away from the team. It is an honor, and I hope all coaches, minorities, black, Asian, white, it doesn't matter, great people continue to get opportunities to lead young men like this. But this ain't about me, this is about us. And we're gonna celebrate what we've done because it's something special.
Boom. By the way, guys, if you're enjoying the content, make sure you hit that like button down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. You subscribing is the best way to ensure we can keep doing these videos. But that is exactly how you handle that question, right? He doesn't go on some like George Floyd BLM speech. He doesn't really get into it. He basically says, black, Asian, white. By the way, the reason he said, I should point this out. The reason he says Asian is because Marcus Freeman is literally part Korean. I think he's actually half Korean. And no one ever brings that up, right? No one ever asks the Asians like, hey, you're also the first Asian coach in this position. How do you feel about that? I really wonder why that is. Us Asians are always getting screwed over. But no, his point is that black, Asian, white, whatever your race is, that shouldn't matter. He wants everyone to get the opportunities who does a good job. And then as usual, again, this is why I say he's a class act, shifts the attention away from himself. He does not want to address it. He goes to talk about the team. This is a team effort. This is not about me. This is about us. That is exactly how a football coach is supposed to behave. And I just think it's so hilarious because they already asked him this question once. You saw the response. You saw that he did not play into it. And yet, even then, how does ESPN go on about this interview? So as you can see, ESPN literally runs the header right here saying, first black head coach to reach a national championship, despite the fact that Marcus Freeman has been making it pretty clear in his answer to these questions that he does not want to deal with that. They just keep on driving this home. And it really does suck because I'm a big fan of Marcus Freeman. I don't like Notre Dame, but I think he's a good coach. He's doing a great job. But you can fully predict, based on right now how the sports media is behaving, that if Marcus Freeman does end up winning the national championship, which he's one game away from doing, all they're gonna be talking about on TV is about his race. Oh my gosh, he's the first black coach. Not talking about his accomplishments, not talking about the players, like the overall effort to get there, not talking about how he made some modifications to like his coaching strategy in comparison to Brian Kelly. Like, no, it's not gonna be about any of that. It's gonna be, he's black, he's black, he's black.
And he's a more seasoned, more experienced coach. I don't like this. They call it Black Friday for, Black Monday rather for a reason. This certainly typifies it. I don't know why it's not called White Monday. Doug Peterson got fired from Jacksonville. He deserved that firing.
Another aspect, by the way, notice how this never gets mentioned, right, of Marcus Freeman is that back in 2022, he converted to Catholicism. And that, of course, is kind of fitting considering that Notre Dame is a famously Catholic school. They're a Catholic university. And not only did he convert to Catholicism just 3 years ago, he also reinstated the tradition of holding pre-game Catholic Mass after 11 years. Again, why doesn't that get talked about whatsoever? If you really want to celebrate the inclusion of like new people into stuff, well, we know the exact reason why. But even on top of that, if you want to be woke, again, he's not just black, he's also Asian, but the Asian part they don't really care about, which I find to be honestly really funny. It kind of reminds me of Tiger Woods and what used to happen with that back in the day, because he was another person, much like Marcus Freeman, who is mixed black and Asian, and people only want to talk about the fact that he's black because of diversity, but apparently, Asians are an even smaller minority in America, but, who cares if they're represented, because it's just ridiculous. But take a listen.
When you're called one or the other, does it bother you to be called African American?
Yeah, it does, because to be honest with you, if I would have to label myself as anything, ethnic-wise, I always had to check a box, in those little forms and stuff. And they say pick one. I can't. I usually pick African American, Asian, because those are the two households I was raised under.
So you don't want to deny your mother's heritage and household?
I'm not going to deny my mom's heritage. I'm not going to deny my father's heritage.
When people see him, they see a black face. They see a black man. How did you raise him to believe that he was of what race and belonged to what race?
The human race.
The human race.
It's just kind of crazy and depressing how our country has changed because, about 20 to 30 years ago, that is cheered by the crowd. Now it would be booed, right? Now people would say, how dare you, Tiger Woods, you're a sellout. I'm sure someone out there is going to call Marcus Freeman a sellout, but the good news is it seems the vast majority of the Notre Dame fan base, which is largely pretty conservative, I would add, is big fans of it, and so are most college football fans. So with that said, guys, let me know your thoughts on all of this in the comment section down below. Be sure to leave a like on this video, subscribe if you are new, and until next time, God bless and peace.